yeah, what's up? Hello. Welcome back to Couch Cow episode 6. Now, before we start, I would like to say I do not have a microphone for this episode. We're trying it out. Plus, I can't find my microphone, so yeah, but we're not going to have a microphone for this, so if it's not as clear as the last couple episodes, sorry, but we're going to test it out and see. Also, I do write down what I plan on talking about on a little thingy so I remember, because I'll forget if I don't. So, if you guys are interested in seeing what I have written down, I write it all in like notes. Comment down below. I will link it in the description or put it in the description, whatever. Let me know if you guys want to see that. As always, the album review, I'm going to put the lyrics of my favorite lyric of each song from the album I review in the description, like I've been doing the past couple times. Anyway, so there's that out of the way. Now, I am on a little bit of a high. I don't know how people say that. Not because I'm high, but because I just saw Hayden Christensen, what he looked like today. Today is technically Cinco de Mayo, because it is 12:44 a.m., but I still consider it May 4th. So it's like what Hayden Christensen looked like on May 4th, okay? So he went to a meet and greet thingy like he always does, and it's the first one he's had since I met him. So I've been like waiting for, I think, unless I'm wrong, so I've been waiting to see him again, and he looked so good. So I'm just like, yeah, a little bit of a high for that. Okay, now the album we're gonna be reviewing for this podcast episode is gonna be Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. Okay, this album has 13 songs. That's like all the songs that aren't like different versions of a song and like whatever. So this album came out, I don't know what date it came out, but I know it did come out a little bit ago, and I never listened to it because I know she's been having a little bit of a controversy recently, and I just didn't want to promote any of her new stuff. But I don't know, it's kind of like people are saying that's not true, it's an iffy thing, and my work radio, well, I guess all radios, the radio that I listen to at work, the channel I listen to, plays We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love all the time. So I was like, fine, I'll listen to the album, because it kept getting stuck in my head. And that's the song of the week. I know I normally do the song of the week towards the end, at least I think I do, or in the middle, but today we started with song of the week. Song of the week is Wait for Your Love by Ariana Grande. Okay? So, that did end up being my favorite song from that album. Okay? And yeah, it's the one that plays on the radio. As I said in the last one, get over it. Who cares if I like the most popular song? It's popular for a reason. Anyway, so I like the song because it's, again, I'm repeating myself. It is a sad song, but not a slow song. So I love songs like that. Okay. Now, my favorite lyric is, I don't like how you paint me, yet I'm still here hanging. When she said that, I was like, I never knew what she said in that lyric. So like I whenever I do these videos, I either first listen to the song and then read all the lyrics for the song and find my favorite lyric, or I do it as I'm listening to it. It depends on what I'm feeling. So this one, I've already heard the song, obviously, multiple times. Didn't understand what she was saying, so I looked up the lyrics, and when I read that, I was like, and it made the song even more sad. I think it's a metaphor. If I'm wrong, hey, I'm not an English teacher. Like, don't try to get your information from me. Anyway, I think it's a metaphor. I love a good, if that's what it is, I love a good metaphor. Whenever they're like, I think that's what a metaphor is. Whenever they say one thing and it doesn't mean something else, but like, I'm not gonna try to explain the metaphor because I will not. But these are my favorite things in songs. And it's my favorite topic of a song. It's like you see it in Tolerate It by Taylor Swift. Tolerate It is literally the whole point of the song, is she sees how badly this person is treating her, but she still stays with him. And I'm like, been there, done that. I think most people that are older and been in relationships have done that for a relationship, okay? I mean, I don't want to assume, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty common theme in relationships, okay? So, how I see this is, like I just said, you sit there and you watch them treat you kind of badly, and this song specifically, this lyric, I don't like how you paint me. This isn't just watching him, like, treat you badly, but this is watching them go to other people and talk bad about you. That's how I'm portraying the lyric, okay? No, I'm not Ariana Grande. I don't know what this lyric means. It could mean anything, but that's what I think it means. She watched, like, this is also sadly pretty common, I think. Sometimes you watch this person that you love into your face. They're not saying these things, but to other people, they're saying these things about you and they're painting you in a bad light whenever it's not true. And that's how I portray it. But she still sat there and stayed with him. But you tolerate it. Like, come on. Oh my goodness. I can't. You know, I'm getting off topic a little bit here, but I have always thought Haunted for like about a year. I thought Haunted, not a year, half a year. Thought Haunted by Taylor Swift was my favorite song from her, okay? Now, the more I think about it, Tolerate It is probably my favorite song. Obviously. I mean, I want to say Haunted is because, like, it's so upbeat and it's still so sad. And because it's Twilight, if you guys haven't found the similarity between Haunted by Taylor Swift and the Twilight New Moon movie, please, I highly suggest you go read the lyrics and watch the New Moon movie. It's the second Twilight movie, and you will see, because it is it all started, okay? This is my Roman Empire people talk about, okay? My Roman Empire is, I saw an edit on TikTok, of course, and it was Haunted by Taylor Swift. She goes, I stood there and watched you walk away, but I still mean everything I said. He will try to take away my pain, and he just might make me smile, but the whole time I'm wishing he was you instead. I think that's what she said. Okay, I don't have the lyrics. Maybe I should look up the lyrics real quick. But let's see. I'll look up the lyrics real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what she said, okay? And then, you know, if you don't know, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. She, oh my goodness. So, in the second movie, if you haven't seen Twilight and you don't want me to spoil it, leave. But I suggest you go watch that movie, you go listen to the song, and then you come back, okay? Because this is my Roman Empire, as I said. So, the whole first movie, yeah, I'm talking about Twilight. Why am I talking about Twilight? Okay, whatever. The whole first movie, she meets Edward, and then they fall madly in love, and then it's like a whole thing. She loves Edward, oh my goodness. And then the second movie, at first, they seem happy. I'm pretty sure. It's been a hot second since I've seen the second movie. I'm pretty sure at the beginning they seem perfectly fine and happy, okay? But then, a little bit into the movie, Edward leaves her. And she says, if this is about my soul, take it. You can have it. I don't want it without you. And he leaves her in the forest crying, and she has to be found by other people, and it's like a whole thing. And because she's so like distraught, is that the word, by Edward leaving, for months she sits there and does nothing. That's the iconic scene where she's sitting in the chair staring out the window and he goes, there's a possibility. Oh my god, guys, the book too. I finally read all the Twilight books a while ago. I will get on to the last Twilight book in a second. Whatever. So I finally read almost all the Twilight books. I say a while ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. And when I read New Moon, I read all the Twilight books because of this TikTok, okay? When I read New Moon, that's the best Twilight book. It's the best Twilight book. I do not care what anyone says. That book broke my heart. That book broke my heart, and then it goes, for that part, it just says November, December. I don't know the months. It just pans the whole page of the month, and I'm like, you guys probably don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, whatever. Okay, so here we go. She says, now in the beginning, she says, you and I walk a fragile line. I have known it all this time, but I never thought I'd live to see it break. Okay? Hello? Edward and Bella, you and I walk a fragile line. I have known it all this time. He's a literal vampire. He is a vampire. If that's not a fragile line, I don't know what is. Like, they're destined to not be together, okay? And then, but I never thought I'd live to see it break. She knew all this stuff, but she never thought they'd break up. Okay, so then, that's how the edit starts, okay? The TikTok edit. I'll link it down below if I can find it, okay? Please. Oh my gosh. And then, it shows them together in the woods, okay? You and I walk a fragile line. And then it goes, skips to, stood there and watched you walk away from everything we had, but I still mean every word I said to you. This is the part where he's leaving and she's like, if this is about my soul, take it. You can have it. I don't want it without you. And then he walks away, okay? And then it cuts to, not cuts, but it goes, he will try to take away my pain, and he just might make me smile, but the whole time I'm wishing he was you. This is back to the movie where you skip a little bit, she suddenly becomes friends with Jacob to deal with this heartbreak, okay? Now, she thinks this is gonna help her. This is gonna help her, but she cannot get over Edward. Obviously, she can't get over Edward. So, but the whole time I'm wishing he was you instead. The whole time she's constantly seeing Edward's ghost because she still wishes she was with him. And then literally the whole song is called Haunted. I mean, it's literally called Haunted. Can't breathe whenever you're gone. Can't turn back now. I'm haunted. Literally, she's sitting there staring outside a window for months. She's having nightmares over the fact that this guy left her. I should probably shut up about this, okay? What am I even talking about? Oh my god, okay. Let's go back to Eternal Sunshine, okay? Y'all, you should have known coming into this podcast it's gonna be all over the place. I have ADHD. Anyway, so I thought that song was my favorite song because of the whole Twilight thing, whatever. Okay. Now, I'm realizing Tolerate It is actually my favorite song by Taylor Swift. That's my whole rant. That's all I was trying to get across. Guys, okay? Back to the album. I didn't want to listen to it because, as I said, she's been exposed, whatever. But I finally listened to it. And I did add some of them to my playlist. Most of them were added to, I have a spring playlist, which is like soft songs that are still a little bit upbeat. So they're not like insanely upbeat, but they're not slow. So I added those to my spring playlist. Of course, I always have my Spotify linked in my link tree down below. I have a lot of playlists on that, okay? But, okay, Don't Want to Break Up Again, True Story, I Wish I Hated You, and Imperfect for You. Oh, and Ordinary Thing didn't stand out to me. I didn't even add them to a playlist. I didn't like them really. But all the other songs I liked, and I added them to playlists, okay? Yes, and didn't go in the spring and went in the summer. Just saying that. So, because of that, I will have to give the album 6 out of 10 stars. Half of it was good, and I liked the songs, but it wasn't anything crazy. And then the other half wasn't bad, but it wasn't my cup of tea. So, that's why I have to give it 6 out of 10 stars. If you guys don't agree with that, that's okay. So, now because we were talking about Twilight, let's go back to Twilight and talk about books that I've read this week, okay? I started reading Midnight Sun, which, if you don't know, I think I described it in the last book. Last episode. Midnight Sun is the last book of the Twilight series, but you do not have to read it. It is from Edward's point of view about the whole entire relationship, okay? So, if you don't know this about Edward, he can read minds. So it starts literally from the beginning when he first met Bella, okay? So I had to tell you that he can read minds so that you know why I think this stuff and, whatever, okay? And of course it's from his perspective, so obviously he also tells his thoughts on everything. So I only got to page 110, which is 14%. I might try to read it again. This book was so weird just from this, and I haven't watched them yet because I'm waiting till after I finish the book to watch, but I've seen a few reviews say that this is like such a weird book, like it's the worst book, and it was, I can't say I agree yet because I haven't read it, but from so far I kind of agree. It's a little bit weird, okay? So, if you aren't thinking about the rest of the relationship, it's good. It's giving you the dark romance that I love personally, but obviously you read all the rest of the books first. Like, I don't know, I obviously, as I said, I haven't finished the book. I don't know if you have to read the other Twilight books to understand exactly everything that's happening. I don't know, but I would assume so. So, you've already read all the Twilight books, right? Okay. In the Twilight books, the rest of them, he's deeply, deeply in love with Bella, okay? From my thought, it was, okay, he first meets her, and he's thirsty for her, but then he goes away for like a week or something, and he comes back, and he realizes how deeply in love with her, so like, that doesn't even matter. Like, of course, he's still thirsty around her, but like, he's so deeply in love with her that it doesn't matter, okay? But no. In the book, okay, he is murderous. Like, he doesn't actually, I don't think he actually murders anyone. I don't know yet. He's like super angry in it. Again, I'm only on page 110. He's super angry and like murderous, and for like, I don't know how many pages, I think 3 pages, he talks about how badly he wants to kill her. And like, he's going into detail on how, not really that far into detail, he's going into detail about how much he wants to brutally murder Bella and the whole entire class at school. That's my cat, by the way. And I was like, obviously he's a vampire, but I thought this wasn't Edward anymore. I thought that was like long ago. I didn't know Edward still was like this, but because you read his mind, you see a different side of him. And I was like, oh, I get it. He's a vampire, okay? I get it, okay? But like I said, I thought he was immediately in love with her after, like, the week he left. But no, whenever he saw her again, he was thinking about for a hot minute how much he wanted to kill her. And I was like, oh, okay. Another thing is, like I said, he can read minds. So he can read the minds of all her friends. And obviously, I always knew Jessica is Bella's friend, okay? I think it might be the first person Bella meets at the school. Or maybe it's that guy, whatever. I don't know. But it surprised me how insanely rude Jessica is. Jessica's always been a bratty, you know what I'm trying to say, bratty person, okay? But I never was like, oh, she's mean. No. This girl, because you read her mind, she is mean and fake. She's literally, her thoughts the whole time, she's like, Bella isn't even that pretty. I don't know exactly what she says, but she said something along the lines of, she's not even that pretty. I don't even understand why everyone here likes her or whatever. But the whole time she's doing that, like literally at the exact same time, she's like welcoming Bella into her friend group and like being so nice to her face. And I was like, I mean, obviously that happens in real life, but like in the movie, I don't think they portrayed that until like movie 2, where you kind of see how much of a fake friend she kind of is. And because in movie 2, as I said, she's so deeply distraught and she like starves herself and everything. It doesn't really say she starves herself, but like in the movies they kind of hint that she does. I don't know, but you see that side of her because the whole time Jessica is like, get over it, basically. And I don't like the way you're acting anymore. I don't want to be around you if you're like this, kind of thing. But you don't see it as much in the first one. You see that she's jealous, okay? You see how jealous she is that the one guy, I think his name's Mike, maybe, likes Bella because she likes Mike. But that's about it. No, this girl's mean. She's mean, okay? That's really all I have to say about the book. Because as I said, I'm literally barely even into it, okay? So after I did that, after I got to that part, I was like, I don't think I want to read this anymore, because I just finished, as I said in the last one, I just finished Deathly Hallows. So I finally finished all the Harry Potters, and it took me so long to read all of them that some of them I forgot about. And so I wanted to reread all the Harry Potters so that I wanted to read them quicker than I read them last time, so that I remember them all. And so that was like in my brain the whole time. So I was like, I need to read Harry Potter. So I could not focus on the book. Normally I would have just like dealt with it and read the whole thing because like it's still Twilight. But I need to finish the series. I'm on the last book. I need to finish it. But I was like, I need to read Harry Potter. So that was in my brain. So I did start Sorcerer's Stone. I finished it. That's why I'm recording this. If I look a mess and I'm literally in my pajamas, because I just slept, because I would have recorded this before I went to bed, but I had to finish reading Sorcerer's Stone before I did this podcast, because I want to give you my thoughts like right after I finish it, okay? But I was too tired to finish it, so I had to take a nap, okay? I had to take a little nap, so if I look a little bit rough, that's why. So this is another dumb moment. I talked about this in the last one with Prisoner of Azkaban. I have some dumb moments when it comes to Harry Potter, okay? There's just so much information being thrown at you. So okay, whatever. So I didn't realize, it completely skipped my mind when I read the first book. It was 20 years before, like, at the time Harry goes to Hogwarts, Voldemort became Voldemort 20 years before that. And I didn't think that. I assumed that a few months before he killed his parents, Lily and James, that he became Voldemort. And so I was always so confused at how everything happened so quickly that I was like, how is all this happening at the same exact time? And it was so confusing in the timeline. I didn't get the timeline in my brain, but now that I know it was, how many years is that? 9 years before that he actually became Voldemort. I was like, oh. So it kind of changed things for me because I was always curious, and I think I might have said this in the last podcast. Snape and Lily confused me so much. Okay, and we did see in the last one how close they actually got, and how they were friends for years. I didn't know they were actually friends for years. I thought Snape just had a little crush on her for years, but no, they were actually friends with her. So I didn't get how Snape, in such a short amount of time, because like I said, I thought it was like a few months, maybe a year before that Voldemort became Voldemort, because obviously he was Tom, whatever his, I don't remember his name, Tom Riddle, and then he became Voldemort. I thought Tom Riddle became Voldemort, and then a year after that he killed Lily and James. Okay, so I didn't get in that short amount of time how Snape was still so in love with Lily, and then he decided to be on Voldemort's side, and how also at the same time Peter was friends with Lily, and then Lily and James, and betrayed them, and then he planned this whole thing about chopping off his finger, and at the same time Snape is going behind Voldemort's back and telling Dumbledore all this stuff. And also, while all this is happening, Voldemort is trying to get Lily and James to join his side, and they refuse. And Voldemort is killing tons of people, and he's hiding Horcruxes, or making all of them. And I was like, how is all of this happening all within a year at the same exact time? I didn't get it. And then, I'm so, my brain, okay? And then, okay, I get, obviously, that it's Voldemort. He's this dark, evil wizard. But I was like, how in a year did he kill so many people that he became this dark wizard while he was also making all these Horcruxes and doing all this stuff? I didn't understand it. So whenever I found that out, I had to go on a rant about that, because whenever I found that out, it finally clicked, and I was like, oh, he had 9 years to do all that stuff. That makes a little bit more sense. So, yeah, and I know I was thinking way too into it, because obviously, like, it doesn't matter that much. Like, he's a dark wizard. Who cares what amount of time he did it all in? He's a dark wizard. But still, it was like, I didn't get how all this stuff was happening. And how also Snape promised Dumbledore that he would keep the boy safe, or Dumbledore promised Snape, I don't know how it goes. One of them promised the other to keep the boy safe, because after, I've got it all wrong. I'm still confused. I'm obviously still confused, okay? So I'm hoping reading it again will make me less confused, because I'm still confused. So, in this short amount of time, I was like, oh my god. So, Snape made Dumbledore promise to keep Lily safe in this short amount of time, and then they get killed, and so then the whole, well, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up about it, okay? I'm gonna shut up, because I'm going on a rant, and you can't even understand me, probably, but, okay. Another thing that surprised me was, why is everyone hating on a cat? Now, if you know Harry Potter, you'll get that. But if you don't, there's a cat called Mrs. Norris. It's the caretaker's cat, and it literally follows people around, because the caretaker, like, is so annoying, and he wants to control every little thing the students do. So he has this cat that follows everyone around, and yeah, I bet it's annoying that he's trying to sneak on people, But the amount of times in this book, there were 2 times that there was a joke about someone hurting the cat. And I know it's probably like, you know how many times there's jokes about murdering people? And I know that's worse, but I don't know, animal cruelty is like I can't. So there were jokes about killing the cat twice in the book. And like, not even killing it, like hurting it, like kicking it and stuff. And I was like, even Hagrid made a joke about it. That's why I was like another one was just like a student, whatever. But Hagrid made a joke about it, and I was like, what? Hagrid is this loving animal person, and I was kind of like, ew, I don't think I like Hagrid anymore. So why would you joke about that? I don't care how annoying the cat is, why would you say that? Anyway, let's take a break from this for a second, because I did indeed finish Sorcerer's Stone. I am going to keep my rating the same, which is 4 stars, because it was good, but it wasn't like the best book ever, okay? So this is what the book looks like. I tabbed the ever-living crap out of it, because the way I have it on my bookshelf right now shows the spine, but I have a whole Harry Potter shelf, so I'm going to flip it so that you see all the tabs, like this. So I'm going to do that with all the books. And I'm not going to talk about this for too long because I don't want to bore you guys, but if you guys actually read and you're watching this, you might be, whatever, I want to talk about what I want to talk about, okay? As you can see, I put all these tabs, so I match the tabs to the book as best as I can. So the tabs, I'm not going to talk about every little color and all that stuff, but the things I like to tab in my books, these are normally the stuff I tab, okay? I tab funny lines, sad lines, happy lines, foreshadowing. That's if I've already read a book, okay? I do foreshadowing on rereads. Characters, good quotes, and for this book I did most tabbed. Now, I don't normally tab characters unless it is a book with a lot of characters that you like actually have to remember. And then I also, for this book, I did spells. And then I also did most tabbed because this is a very popular book. So on Kindle, it tells you, it underlines sentences that like tons of people have tabbed. I don't know the number. I don't know what number they finally decide to tab it. Like, this many people did it, so I have to tab it this many times. Now, I am going to sit here and talk about some of these tabs. I'm not going to talk about all of them, like I said, but I do want to talk about a couple of them that stood out to me. So I'm going to tell you, I only did 2 good quote tabs. So those are like quotes that I really like. I'm like, oh, I would write that down. Not necessarily ones that are like, this is important to remember for the book. It's just like, oh, that's a good quote. Does that make sense? Probably. So I only did 2 of those, so I'm going to sit here and tell you the 2 of them. So, the first one is in chapter 12. It is literally the last page of chapter 12, so 2:14. He says, it does not dwell. This is the problem with Harry Potter. The way that some of these people speak, I'm like, can you speak normal, please? It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. I just thought that was a cute one. Because it's true. The amount of times I dream about stuff and I'm like, I need that dream to be reality whenever it's not realistic is insane. Especially whenever it comes to romance. Because I'm a romance reader. Like, that's not realistic at all. It's not realistic. Okay. So, I tabbed that one. And then another example is on chapter 17. This is the second one I tabbed. These are the only tabs I did of this exact. This is the only good quotes tabs I did. Okay, whatever. So, chapter 17 is The Man with Two Faces. It's the last chapter. It's page 297. It says, this is Dumbledore again speaking. as much money and life as you could want. The two things most human beings would choose above all. The trouble is, humans do have a knack of choosing precisely those things that are worst for them. Because it's true, because humans are greedy. And I just thought that was a good quote. Anyway, and then another one, it's right after that on page 299. He didn't realize that love as powerful as your mother's for you leaves its own mark. Not a scar, no visible sign. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some protection forever. That was so cute. And I don't think he says that in the movie. I'm probably wrong. I don't know if he says that in the movie, but I thought that was really cute. So I tabbed it. And then some other things I tabbed are just like times when the Dursleys really annoyed me. Because, I think it only said sad earlier. Sad and mad are the same tab. So like all the blue ones I have are mad because of the Dursleys. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. And then I also decided a new bookmark system, which, again, if you don't care, that's fine. So, this is a bookmark I have for this specific book. It's a paint sample. And you might be like, why do you need that many bookmarks? Let me tell you. So, this is the one for all the tabs. These are the tabs I use for the book. I keep this one at the very beginning, where I wrote down what each tab means so that I remember and it's easy to find, okay? Now, this bookmark, the colored bookmark, so it stands out, is the one on the actual page I am at, okay? This long, clear one is for halfway through the part I'm reading. So if it takes me 2 days to read a book, I will mark it, or I expect to read it in 2 days. I will mark the middle of the book. But if I think it's going to take me 3 days, I divide it in 3 and I put a bookmark. I have more of these, so that I only use one for this one. I'll put a bookmark dividing them like this. Or sometimes I use tabs. It really depends. I use the bookmark for this one because I knew it was going to change often. And then every day I would mark halfway through the book so that, anyway, you understand. In this one, I don't know why I like to do this. I don't like long chapters, so I put this bookmark. As you can see, they all look different. This one's more opaque. This one's for the end of the chapter so that I don't have to keep searching how many pages I have left every 5 seconds. Because I do that. I like to rush myself, and I hate long chapters. So I have to search for the chapters every single minute. And that's really all I have to say about the book. I just want to tell you guys that because one thing about me is I like to look to see how people tab certain books, and I can barely find them anywhere. And I'm like, I don't want you to just show me the colors you're choosing. Tell me exactly what you're tabbing and why you're tabbing that, please. For the love of everything. Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about that, let's get on to our next topic, okay? Now, we talked about books. We talked about music. Makeup. Okay, let's talk about makeup for a second. Now, I think I mentioned in the last one that my birthday's coming soon. I didn't say the date. My birthday is May 15th, so my birthday's in 10 days. And so, I want to talk to you guys about this new palette I found because I might buy it. And, I wanted to ask you guys, do you want to see a review on it if I do buy it? I haven't decided yet if I am going to buy it. So it is called the Blend Bunny X Ellis Atlantis palette. It has 45 shades. 45, and I will get onto it later. I don't care if you guys don't care to learn about the palette. I'm going to talk about it. So, because this is one of the palettes where I saw it and I was amazed by this palette. Which doesn't happen very often because a lot of palettes just look the same. This one, okay, this one is $60 before tax and shipping, which seems like a lot of money for a palette, but as I said, it is 45 colors. Okay, now it has 4 gray tones, which is black, dark gray, light gray, and white. And then it has 4 neutrals, which is tan, a more like orangey tan, light gray, and white. And then it has 5 shimmers. They all are kind of like whitish, but they're all different color shimmers. They're all for like highlights. And they all have, I'm trying to explain this in the way I can without showing you the palette. Apart from those ones, the rest of them have 4 shades of each color. So, for example, they have 4 shades of yellow, 4 shades of orange, 4 shades of red, 4 shades of pink, 4 shades of green, 4 shades of teal, 4 shades of blue, and 4 shades of purple. That is insane. That is actually insane. So I have to decide if I want to buy that. I don't know, it's a little bit not in my price range right now, but I am worried that it will be out of stock. And if you guys know anything about me, you might have found out from my vlog. I've been looking for a gray toned palette for a while, specifically with a dark gray, black, and like a white color, so that I could do a white, black, and gray like eye look. I found one, and I showed you guys in the video before. I found one. It doesn't really have the range I'm looking for. It has like a more dark gray, and I want a lighter dark gray, if that makes sense. Like, I want a very distinct from black and gray, and this one just looks like 2 blacks, and I don't like that. So I've been looking for that. And then also, I now use eyeshadow a little bit on my brows, and so I need a brown eyeshadow for that. And I do have the James Charles palette, okay? But James Charles palette I bought years ago. Makeup does expire. I don't really care about that too much. But I am starting to run low on some colors, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I'm thinking about getting this because it's like, for that. And then on top of that, the amount of shades they have for each color. If you guys don't know, I don't know if I showed that much of it on my YouTube channel. I used to match like crazy. When I say match, I mean I would put a barrette in my hair, my eye color, and my shirt would all match as best as I could with the stuff I had, okay? Now, I stopped doing that because I ran out of colors. I was tired of doing the same thing every time. But this one has so many colors that I could match like crazy, and it would be different every time. And I'm really thinking about buying it. I just wanted to rant about that because I saw this palette and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I might treat myself for that on my birthday. The only problem is they don't have it like in stores, I don't think, so I have to do it online. So I might buy it as a birthday gift for myself. I might also buy some nails I've been looking for. Some nail things. I want to buy, I don't know how much in depth I talk about this on my other podcast. I want to buy like press-ons, gems, charms, and like gel for my nails, and make these really like cute like French tip with like cute little stars and Hello Kitties on it. It'd be so cute. So I thought about buying that, but again, that costs a decent amount of money on Amazon. I do have the stuff linked to my Amazon storefront. Just not a storefront, my Amazon wish list. I don't know how to do storefront. If you guys are interested in me putting all the stuff I like and use on my Amazon storefront, let me know and I will learn how to do that for you guys. But for right now, I just have a wish list of stuff I want. So just putting that out there. So I might buy that stuff. I don't know. As I said, I will probably pick and choose. I'll either buy the palette or the nail stuff. But I don't know. I might buy the palette first though, because the palette will sell out and the palette's not on Amazon. So like all the Amazon stuff will be there forever. The palette will not be there forever. So I'll probably, if I do buy anything by myself, the palette. And again, comment down below if you want me to do a review on it. Thank you. Okay. I have decided. Now, apology in advance, Seth. I am not doing purple hair. I know I talked about it before. I talked about doing purple, this color pink, which is very faded. As you can see, my roots are growing. A very faded pink, a green, and a blue, okay? That was my plan, is like do little strands of it each and like, you know. But I decided I'm not going to do that because recently I've been into Harry Potter. So I kind of want Slytherin hair, but at the same time, I want pink girly. Because like all the stuff I wear is girly. So I want to do a mix of both. So I want to do green, like an emerald green color on one side and then the pink on the other. Or like, I'll probably do this part, not bangs, pink, green, and then this part do like strands of each color or something like that to make it like blend together, you know. So I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Again, I thought about treating myself for my birthday and buying the stuff to do that, but it would be a little bit pricey. Not that pricey. I just have to buy black hair dye and green hair dye, and then probably bleach. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. I'm gonna do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, is the thing. But that's what I want because I want to be girly, but Slytherin, and it's a whole thing. Like, I see this girl on TikTok, she goes to Disney a lot, and so she does Aurora-themed looks. So recently for May 4th, she did Princess Leia, but all, like, pink for Aurora. I don't know if I'm saying that name right, probably not. So, like, it's, like, all her outfits, she does a pink version of the characters' outfits, and it's so cute. And I'm like, that's what I want to be. That's what I want. Anyway, now let's get on to stuff I've been watching. I have been watching, right now, my ish is Danielle Kirsty. If you haven't watched her and you like true crime, go watch her. She does true crime and makeup. I think the way she does it, she's a lot more respectable than other people. Some other people that do this stuff, she's, I don't know if respectable or respectful. Is respectable a right word? She's more respectful, okay? Like, the way she puts it across, and she just gets straight to the facts. She just, one after the other, she doesn't waste time, like, talking about stuff that doesn't matter or whatever. But she does still give her opinion every now and then, and I love her. Plus, she does really cool makeup, and that's also where I obviously wanted a palette already, but after seeing some of her videos, I'm like, I really want this palette, because she does the most cool looking, like, colored makeup. I'm so jealous of her. So, I've been watching that, and it is crazy, because whenever you watch these videos, it's about true crime, so it's like people that did this horrible thing, and most of the time it's people that have done multiple horrible things, and it is insane how little time some people go to jail or prison for these horrible things. Like, every time I sit there and watch it, this person has been, most of the time, these people have been to jail or prison multiple times and were let out, and then they did this horrific thing. Like, they do this, I'm not going to talk about any crimes, they did this terrible thing, they only go away for 14 months. What? I obviously knew that the system is wrong and failing us, but watching these videos, it's like almost every single video just happens in it, and I was like, it's insane. It's insane to think about, and it makes you think about all the people that are around us that could have gone to jail for this terrible thing, and we have no idea that they did this absolutely horrific thing, and they're just walking around, which there are a few celebrities that are like that too. Chris Brown is the biggest example. Not the biggest example, but he's the most like popular one. He is a known attempted murderer. He literally tried to kill Rihanna. And y'all are still like, oh my god, he's so cute. No, please go get help. Please. And I don't care what you guys have to say about that. I'm not in the wrong for thinking that. You are in the wrong for thinking he is attractive. Go get help. Thank you, please. Okay. But that is one of the known ones. It's just like insane. So it makes you really, obviously, Hollywood is messed up and we know this, but it makes you think how many people really are messed up. And it's just like, I'm scared that like these people that I watch all the time and I love secretly are these terrible, terrible humans, and it's just insane to think about. And you think you really know someone, but you probably don't, and it's, whew. If you guys want me to do a whole podcast about like stuff like that, I probably could. It is insane. Okay, so to move on from that dark stuff, I said recently I've been watching RuPaul. I've been trying to finish RuPaul in time for the new season. I stopped watching RuPaul. I haven't watched it since I recorded that episode. I say all the time I go through phases with stuff, and I watched RuPaul every day for like a week, and now I'm over it. So now I'm watching Daniel Kirsty. For a little bit, I was watching the Stornolio triplets for like 5 days in a row, and I'm over it now. But I do with Daniel Kirsty, I have like been reading while I watch her stuff, so I'm not just sitting there watching it. I read and everything, but it's so good. So I'm probably not gonna be able to do the RuPaul review of each episode in time, like at the same time that they're being like put out and everything. Maybe whenever I finally watch it, I'll tell you my opinion on it. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't been in the RuPaul vibe recently. It's just sometimes you get to those seasons that are kind of like, meh. So you don't really want to watch it. But I am making myself watch them in order and not skipping anything. So, like, I have to just power through it. But when I'm at work and, like, the only thing I have to do is watch this and, like, read or something, I'm not going to make myself watch something I do not want to watch. So, it's been a struggle. But, yeah. So, as I said, I'm going to check out what I'm going to do now this weekend. As I said, it is Cinco de Mayo. Now, I'm not Mexican in any way, but it's Cinco de Mayo, and I'm so excited because I'm going to go to a Mexican restaurant. Because one thing about my grandpa loves Mexican food. He goes to Mexican restaurants, not as much anymore, but he used to go to a Mexican restaurant every single Friday. Yeah. So my grandpa loves Mexican food, so of course we're gonna go get Mexican together. Me, him, and my mom. And so I'm very excited. I'm probably gonna get a margarita. I am of age, so I know I don't look like it. That's crazy. Yeah, I got a question on my telonym, whatever. It's the one where you can send anonymous questions to people. It used to be through Snapchat. Now they have their own app. But I got an anonymous question. How old do people think you are by your looks? And I was like 16, because it's true. People think I'm 16 sometimes. And they're like, oh, that leads me to a story. Literally last weekend, I remember I told you I went to a taco fest. At this taco fest, they have alcohol, and so they don't have to card people every time, because it's a lot of people, so they don't have to card you every time you get a drink. You have to wear a wristband. And the girl giving away the wristbands was like, she wasn't mean, but she was like annoying about how much she needed to see my ID. She's like, I'm for sure gonna need to see your ID. Like, yeah, I'm for sure gonna have to check for that one, because that's like, while she was like talking, like getting my grandpa, I'm for sure gonna have to check that one hard. And I was like, girl, shut up. I get it. And she said something along those lines like 3 times, and I was like, girl, we get it already. We get it. I'm getting out my ID as we speak. Shh, please. Anyway, I just want to talk about that. So yeah, I'm going to do that today. I'm excited because it's supposed to be warm, and it's a Mexican restaurant. I'm hoping we can maybe sit out, not outside, but they have like, the one I go to, they have this little like outside area that's really inside. So I'm hoping we can go sit there and eat. I'm excited because any excuse to wear a dress or a skirt, I am down. And then also last weekend, I don't know if I mentioned that I was going to do it. Yeah, I did. Okay. I did go to it's called the Azalea Path. I feel okay saying it now because I already went. It's called the Azalea Path. It is a little bit away from me, so it was a little bit of a drive. So we went to go to that, and it was actually, like, it wasn't as good as all of us thought it was going to be, but it was also really pretty. Like, I guess maybe we all thought it would be a little bit bigger, but it was a little bit smaller than we thought, and there were so many people that it wasn't even like you could, like, sit there and enjoy and everything. It was like you would kind of have to move because there's other people wanting to look at it too. But I did, as you guys saw, if you haven't seen yet, go watch my vlog from yesterday. I did show a lot of that, and it was very pretty. They had this really cute mini waterfall with all these flowers around it, and it was so cute. I loved it. So we did that. We weren't there that long because, as we said, it was kind of small, it was packed, and it was hot. It was so hot that day. And then after that, we found a covered bridge, abandoned bridge. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically a bridge that's not being used anymore. So I also have that in my vlog, and it was so cool. I'm really kind of thinking about dressing up in like my emo outfit, and having me and my mom go down there so she could take pictures of me there, because I think it'd be a really cool photo shoot, like whenever it's like a little bit dark out. So I might do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it though, but I don't really have anything planned this week. Like I said, I think I'm gonna try to read Midnight Sun because I did read Harry Potter, so I got it out of my system a little bit. So I think I can wait to read the next Harry Potter, and so I should finish Midnight Sun. I have so many books that I'm like partially into that I need to finish, but I think I'm gonna do Midnight Sun next because I'm so far into it. I'm not so far into it. I'm only when I say 14%, but still, I think I'm gonna read that. Y'all don't understand. This book is like 800 pages. It's this big. So if it doesn't start getting better soon, I'm gonna be annoyed because I have to finish it. Something in me tells me I have to finish it. If it was any other book, I would be like, no. But this is the last in the series. After I've already read, 4 other books, like, I have to finish it. It's the last one. Plus, I want to know everything about the relationship anyway, so that I can watch them and read them all with, like, the whole perspective. So I don't want to, like, skip out completely on this book, because Edward might not be as good as I think he is. We'll see. But I plan on hopefully finishing that this week. If I finish that this week, I will give my full review on the next podcast. But as always, the lyrics for the album I just reviewed, my favorite of each song, is down below. So if you want to see that, let me know. If you want to see that, go look at that. Let me know if you want to see my notes each podcast that I write throughout the week. It's like, that's what I do for this podcast. Because if I don't write stuff down, I will have nothing to talk about for you guys, because I forget everything. So throughout the week, anytime I can think of a topic, I write it down and I talk about it in that. And so I have like a whole document of like my thoughts and everything. So if you want it in paper form, let me know and I will add it down below. Either I will do like I do with the lyrics and just write it in the description, or I will give you a link. Let me know. Again, my Spotify is linked down below, as well as my Amazon wish list thank you for anything. If you do give me anything, thank you. I appreciate every little thing. I appreciate every like, every comment. And I hope you guys have a great day, week. I'll see you in a week. So I hope you have a great week. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Be sure to treat yourself with kindness and treat other people with kindness. I love you guys so much. Go hug a cat today. Love you. Okay, bye.